Peace to the family, and I'm here with another installment in today's video. It's called How to Get 6 Figures or More. That's what today's video is about, how to get 6 figures or more. Featuring my lovely light.
Hey!
My lovely light.
I was ready.
This is Sutet Aminet Center Ray, the beautiful, the amazing, the melanated. We out here. We got pool. Which pool you want to go to? You want to go to that pool? You want to go to that pool? You want to go to the pool all the way over there?
And a hot tub.
We out here. You know we travel all over the place. But we're going to talk about
Hey. Let's flip this.
Oh, it's not flipped yet?
Now it is.
Okay, so today we're going to talk to you about how to make 6 figures. That's good conversation. I don't really have any kill the white man rhetoric for you today. I really don't have it most days out the week, almost every day out the week, most of the time, most of all times.
Oh, you're fine.
You good, you good.
Thanks.
Look at him trying to photobomb him. Caught him. So, what I'll tell you today is we're talking about how to make 6 figures. That is the conversation. Before I start building with you, make sure you share this video because everyone that you know and everyone that you love should be a part of this conversation. I'm not going to do a long dialogue about it. I'm not going to do a long monologue about it. So just listen carefully as I go into my deliberation as to how to make 6 figures. Well, first thing I want you to do is think about Judaism. It's a great analogy. First thing I want you to do is think about how a guy comes from out of nowhere. It says that he spoke to God and everybody's like, man, we don't believe you. Then he comes out with these stone tablets. Let's say we're talking about Moses. Moses comes out with these stone tablets and he turns around and says, listen, I done spoke to God. Trust me. I went up there by myself. They're like, by yourself? Of course you seen God. You was by yourself. Ain't nobody was there to bear witness. Of course, naturally. But I got game galore. And you ain't never seen this type of game before. And I got it in these tablets. And if we follow this mission statement, we follow these projections, if we follow this evaluation, if we follow this game plan, if we follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, then we will inherit the world in the form of real estate, in the form of property, and we'll be able to pass it off to our posterity. Our posterity will be the beneficiaries. Everybody looks over the documents. Everybody listens to him articulate it at best because actually he was the first one to really see it. And he says he was endowed with this information by way of the Creator, who had no intentions on really being part of the world, right? Nor of it. So this is interesting. But he wanted us to be part of the world, but not of it. So it gets very interesting because now we're learning that there's property held on behalf of one so that another may benefit in terms of God. And that in law is called a trust. A trust is property held on behalf of one so that another may benefit. And the trustee is the one that's given the power to make decisions so that others may benefit in the future, because this is only property that we're looking to acquire and gain in the interim of us following these laws, statutes, and commandments in order that we can turn this property over to somebody else. And Lord, that puts us at a huge benefit. So let's think about everything that we just discussed. Let's recap it as soon as possible. So we have the guy that no one's ever seen before that's responsible for creating this construct. The guy that no one's seen before is called God. And this God is saying that I created this whole situation, not so I can benefit, but so others can benefit. And if you follow my laws, statutes, and commandments, what you'll get in return is land, O Israel. I'll give you some land. And when you get this land will be here for generations to come. You follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, and this land will be more abundant and more fruitful than it's ever been from one generation to the next if you perpetuate the same. So we have beneficiaries here, and we have property held on behalf of one so that another may benefit. All right? That's what we have here. Property held on behalf of one so that another may benefit. So we got beneficiaries, we have a trust, and guess what? We have a creator that said, I don't want nothing to do with this creation other than to give the power over to someone else. So I'm going to come up with the game plan. I'm going to come up with the projection, the brilliance, the laws, the statutes, the codes, or in trust law, the provisions and the outlines, the personality of the trust. In trust law, we're going to call it the personality. And the reason why we're going to do all these things is because it is the epitome of how to set up a business and void yourself of liability, as in the case of the LLC or the S-Corps, or other types of corporations. So what we find is that the trustor, the settlor, the grantor is the person who creates this world called the trust. And the law, statutes, and commandments of God would be reminiscent to that of the provisions and the mission statement, the outline, and the projections of the trust. And then the person given the power and control over all things to make decisions would be the trustee, and or whoever the other members of the trust are. And they will see to it, the trustee particularly, will see to it that the trust never accumulates negative asset value, which in other words, we're never going to default. We follow this outline. We should be able to grow in abundance and amass wealth. And if that should be the case, we should be able to inherit by virtue of us following these rules, these laws, this game plan, this mission statement, this outline. We should be able to pass this over. So again, the main thing we need to figure out is that the person that created this situation or circumstance had no intention to be part of it, more rather they chose to give someone else the power and control in the decision. Now when we deal with law, the IRS and everybody else is in a conundrum, because when they go to the person with power and control, the person with power and control doesn't have what? Didn't create the world. So the person with power and control didn't create, and the person who created it certainly doesn't have power and control. So one has control and one is the creator. The creator doesn't control and the controller doesn't create it. So now we're in a conundrum, because normally the creator is the control and the control is the creator, but in this particular case, they are distinct from each other. Somebody created this situation so that another can have the right to make all decisions thereafter, which makes the creator, the settler, the grantor, the trustor obsolete. All of those are synonyms for the same. Hope you're walking with me. I just want you to walk with me. Press 9 if you're walking with me. I want you to walk with me. I hope you hear what I'm saying. Huh?
It's dark.
It's dark? Where do I need to go? Go on the light? Are we good?
Yeah.
All right, so the controller isn't the creator, and the creator isn't the controller, and it puts the IRS or anybody else in a conundrum as far as how they're going to deal with you on a tax level. Because the controller is the creator, and the creator is the controller. You go to the creator, well, I don't control nothing. You go to the controller, well, I didn't create this. It was given to me to make all power and control of all decisions. So now we're in a situation where, and then the trustee is like, look, yeah, I am acquiring property, but this property that I'm acquiring is only for the purposes of holding it so that another may benefit, particularly in the case of the beneficiary. So we're not looking to just use this thing in this one lifetime and get rid of it when it's done and everything goes into probate. We're looking to retitle our properties and securitize our assets in turn that we could transfer this or these assets to our inheritance. See, when you have that working model, you are dealing with a situation so powerful that you can add value to your life and others in this time and hereafter. And now we're walking our way into how to amass wealth in the form of 6 figures upward. I should have put 6 figures upward. How to make 6 figures upward. So now we know we're going to definitely use the trust. The trust is fundamental to us making 6 figures. Very important, very powerful, and extremely hot out here. Just keep that in mind. I'm jumping in the school the second I'm done with y'all, because when I teach, I get even more hot. So, when I teach, I get even more hot. Just making sure I can get this light. I just want to make sure I got the right lighting for you guys. But really, it's the information I just want you to hear. Is this good? As she moves, I'm moving. I don't know if I'm supposed to be rotating or not. I'm just following the eye of the camera as she moves, so pardon me. But now, so what I'm saying is this. We want to make sure that you set up this trust, and now you got an idea of the working model of the trust and how it's designed and how it's built. Keep in mind that with a trust is considered a person. A synonym for the word trust, a synonym for a company, a synonym for a corporation is person or legal person or fiction or legal fiction or entity. But the key word I want you to focus on is person, all right? And so the trust is a person. And just like any other person, a person has a credit score or credit, right? So your person in the form of a trust can also have credit. Keep that in mind. You probably get a DUNS number. Okay, Duns and Bradley, but that's another conversation. So a person also has a social security number. Your trust also has a set of numbers, the same amount as a social security number, called a business identification number or tax identification number. So you're going to have a 10 or a bin. But either way, you're going to have the amount of numbers as social security. So your trust, which is a person, also has credit like a person, also has its own form of number identity like a person, reminiscent to that of a social security number, but it's not a social security number. Let me just say that for the record. Your trust also has a personality. The personality consists of, the trust personality consists of what? The trust personality consists of the provisions, the mission statement, the outline, the chassis, the framework of the trust. Those 12, 15 pages or more that breaks down responsibilities of the trustee, who the beneficiaries are, and how long this trust should meet its maturation, what it's designed to do, how it's going to get it done. All of that is the personality of the trust. So your trust is considered a person, and much like any other person, this person has a personality, has his own identification number, reminiscent to the social security number, and has his own credit. So we dealing with all the things as a flesh and blood minus the flesh and blood. Very important. This is why you could be removed from liability, because your trust can stand as a person on your behalf. In fact, your trust becomes your creditor. I don't know if the sun is setting or you just like me moving around. Okay, so the trust is your creditor. All right, the trust will speak on your behalf. You know, when you get a ticket and the summons says the state of California summons you to court, the reason why it's summoning you to court because they expect you to have very intense volleyball game over there. I gotta get back to that. Or where we dumping our women over there. I gotta get back to that. Yo, y'all know I love y'all so much. You know, I ain't even been out to cut my nails or cut my hair. I just be out here enjoying myself. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no time to even do that. Because when this is done, I'm going, wow, back in that water. It's hot as heck. And then I gotta do some consulting out here. Actually, I'm probably gonna have to run into the water and then do my consulting straight after and show up like this, like, pardon me, I just came out the water and I gotta do my consulting. Well, love life, love my job. If you're interested in consultations, it's $200 an hour or $300 an hour in person. All you have to do is email me your full name and your phone number. Always leave your phone number. I'll get back to you. And I open up some slots so I can do it in real time because I'm cooking right now. I'm feeling like sharing a lot of information, so I'm okay with it at the moment. Don't know how I'm going to feel after tomorrow or the day after, but right now, I'm ready for you. If you want some consulting, it's $200 an hour, $300 an hour in person. You email me at brotherpolight45@gmail.com. That's brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Or get the mentorship, where I teach you these strategies and how to employ it in real time. That's brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Let's get back to the business. So now that we got the trust figured out, and we understand the trust has a personality, has an identification number, it is considered a person, and it also has credit. Everything you have minus the flesh and blood, so it can speak on your behalf. The reason why they ask you this, the reason why they give you a summons to go to court for you to appear is because they're not expecting a physical being to appear. So it's kind of like a seance where we're summoning a spirit. We summons a spirit to appear. And then normally you're supposed to have your creditor speak on your behalf, who's also a person but not flesh and blood, because the state of California is not a human being last time I checked. The state of New York City is not a human being last time I checked, but you always get a summons to go to court by way of the state of. Because that is the paperwork construct person, entity, that they're using to facilitate that conversation. And what you need is a paperwork construct entity to represent you on your behalf. You need a creditor to represent you on your behalf. That's another conversation. I just want that to marinate so you really think about that. That's very important. When you have a creditor speak on your behalf, you shouldn't never be speaking on your behalf no more. I know when we first come up, we want everything in our name. But later on, as we grow into wealth and understand the culture thereof, we realize that we should control everything, own nothing. When we don't know much, we want to control everything, own every damn thing. And normally that puts us in a position of the least control. When we grow into learning about wealth, we realize our car should be in our company's name, our house should be in our company's name. I don't have a domestic dwelling, I have a corporate dwelling. And we realize that this saves us a whole lot more money. Well, right now we want to get into how to amass wealth, particularly in the form of 6 figures upward revolving line of credit. So far, what you do know is you need a trust. Now that we got this trust, we're going to set up 3 or more incomes. I do a mentorship program where I teach you 3, 6, or 9 different streams of income. But I really don't do it so you can make an extra $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. That's light and that's corny. But I understand a lot of people would like to make $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 on a month-to-month basis. I don't knock you for that. But what we want you to do is retitle those businesses. We want you, always a helicopter every time. We want you to retitle these income streams to your trust. That's what we want. We want you to retitle these income streams to your trust. And now, when we say retitle, we mean to make property of or ownership of when we're talking about your trust. So we want these new income streams that you set up, these different businesses that you set up, we want you to retitle it to your trust. And if we can show through performance of the trust that you've been able to average in or around the same amount of money on a month-to-month basis for at least 3 months, we can then create a projection for what you probably would make at the end of the year. So let's say I got you averaging $5,000 additional every month, and those 3 income streams that's making you $5,000 each is retitle to your trust. That'll mean we can project, since we seen you making $5,000 for 3 months, we probably could project. It's safe to say that you're more likely making around $60,000 at the end of the year. And if you're making $60,000 at the end of the year, then we can say that your trust is equitable at $60,000. Now you have made your trust equitable by retitling certain properties to the trust. Now that your trust is worth about $60K, what we're going to do is assign the trust to an insurance policy. Not just any insurance policy, but a whole life insurance policy. We're going to assign the trust to an insurance policy, knowing that the trust is equitable by $60K. And what they're going to do is quantify that, meaning multiply it by 4 and then give you back probably like 2/3. Because all insurance is if you create an opportunity for this company to make money off of you, we'll give you back some of the money we was able to create from you. This is called modern money mechanics. It's a form of fraud. Banks do it all the time and insurance companies do it all the time. Now that you're aware that this is fraudulent, be a part of this fraudulent system to get your piece of the pie. If you allow them to generate revenue from you after they subject you to their criteria, your ethnicity, your age, your demographic, your zip code, your mother, your father, your level of schooling, your disease that runs in the family, as they say, so they can determine how much your death benefit is. In addition to you having assigned your trust to the policy, you now made whatever they're going to give you go that much more higher. I guarantee you'll be at $400,000 plus. Upward. Rock this out for another 6 months extended, in addition to the 3 months that you already practiced demonstration that you can average X amount of money per the income streams that I told you that you're going to retitle to the trust. Now you assign that equitable trust to your policy, and it'll compound interest to your death benefit, and now you'll be able to get 6 figures or more upward in being able to access the death benefit, because now the interest is being compounded because your trust has to be factored in. All right. So the goal of me teaching you several different incomes is not for the purposes of you to just make money month to month. The goal is to really, the end goal is really for you to get 6 figures up with revolving line of credit, to have access to it. Yes, you may have an expensive insurance premium. It may be as high as $500, but you're already making $5 grand a month, or 10 grand a month, or 15 grand a month. 1 and 2, you're also going to be given a revolving line of credit of 6 figures, in which you still will be able to make those payments month to month. So what if you risk a raise in premium because you get a larger policy? The fact is you'll be able to pay it off, and then now you'll also have access to 6 figures. And providing you have the proper business plan, you shouldn't even have to access more than $100,000 out of that money in order for you to amass wealth. In addition to the fact you already would have learned several different other income streams. So that's the mentorship program for you in a nutshell. Can't lose, can't lie. I'm allergic to cigarettes. We didn't move from the sky. Yeah, so I feel it gating on me. I hope you ain't offended. You look like you're offended. But I can't deal with it because I'll start breaking down and I won't be the same tomorrow. Then you'll hear me doing this. And then you'll be saying, I thought he teach health. How come he keeps dealing with his throat? But I told y'all, whenever I'm out here in Vegas, that's what's going to happen. You know, because everybody can smoke anywhere. But that's another conversation. I just need to get the heck away from it when I see it. I hope I found out quick enough. But anyway, you know, because I'm just getting paranoid just at the fact what's around smoking. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, and I think smokers always think that you're making things up just to make them uncomfortable. It's just a disgusting habit. I don't like it, and it makes me sick. Literally, I actually get sick. But anyway, we back to the 6 figures. I love you. Make sure you share this video. I'm talking fast because I want to jump into the water, and I also have a consultation to deal with, but I got family that I need to play in the water with and jump around. I'm like,
yes.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to get in here. It's hot out here, you know. And so I just want to say I love y'all. I thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you, babe, for holding the phone.
No problem.
And allowing me to teach. Find some time and space to just teach the people. I understand we could just be having our time, but you allow yourself and you allow me to be shared with the people.
It's necessary.
I know this is our time, you know. So I thank you. I don't want you to think that I take it for granted for allowing me to do these sessions during our time, knowing that after this session, I have a little bit of time left before I have to go through a consultation, you know. And
it's okay, babe. I appreciate it.
Consultation for 2 hours.
Right.
You know, and then after that 2-hour consultation, what do I got to do after that?
One over the phone.
One over the phone for 1 hour.
Yep.
See? And so this is what I'm squeezing in. So the benefit of this luxury is still hard work at the end of the day. Easy work in the sense that I love what I do, but hard work because I also want to spend time with my family, and sometimes I'm triple booked and quadruple booked. So it gets a little crazy, it gets a little intense. But that's just the life we live. So I got a 2-hour consultation after this in person, and then right after that, I got a 1-hour consultation on the phone. I
Right.
still got to maintain the stamina, the strength, and the energy to check into another hotel venue because it's closer to where I got to do the other consultation, and that's kind of like our cheat code, just so we can jump around from one place to the next. Because we like different people's atmosphere. Sometimes because of the pool, sometimes because of the buffet, sometimes because of the architecture. So just using this as an excuse to jump from one place to the next. So we got to take our stuff out of storage and go to the next venue, check in, do the consulting, and after those 3 hours, I'll be back to the family and it'll be nighttime. And then I still got to muster the strength to be able to be there for the family. I can't be sleeping right after I did all the work. Then that's like, that's not nice for the rest of the family. Where you going, baby? Look at this girl. that girl. So, just want to thank y'all. Just want to thank y'all very much. I see what you mean by it being dark in some places. But I gotta go have fun with the family, jump in this water, enjoy myself, enjoy them, and get back to work with it. I promise you, I'll be fresh and lined up for the next one. I've been having so much fun. I ain't got no time, man. Just other than to have fun and then do the work. But if you're interested, go to brother, POLIGHT45@gmail.com. Full name, phone number, and I'll get right back to you. If you do it this evening, I'll contact you this evening. Let's see if we can book you and get you going. I promise you, whether it's metaphysics, holistic health, or finance, I'm just feeling good about life. I'm feeling good about energy. If you saw my Metaphysics of Success, check it out on Facebook. If you didn't see it, go to facebook.com/Brother Polight. Those of you that's there, you know where to go. You here already. But those of you that's going to see this on YouTube, go to Brother Polight or go on to YouTube and just type in Metaphysics of Success. And when you see me there, you'll love it. Watch the whole thing. Watch the whole thing. And that information just got me so elated at this opportunity to just be alive that I'm just like, man, let's get it in. Look at this. She's knocked out. Look at this girl. Going back in the water. I'm about to go in the water now. Finally. All right, I'm about to get off. I'm getting off right now.
Hey, do it.
Huh?
Do it.
Do it?
Yep.
Okay. Neb Head said, watch this several times. Love it. That's what's up. Okay. Ready, babe? Oh, you got water? Oh, you need to get some drinks. Yeah, I need some water
Ice
too.
cold water. Ice cold water.
Yeah, ice cold water will definitely be great. You want to find something and then I'll be off of this?
And could you give me a bucket of ice?
So where did we go to get that water?
Your phone's about to die.
Oh, mine?
We can't get it anymore?
Yeah, it is. Where did we go to get some water? I guess the only thing we could do right now is
Go in the pool.
jump in the pool.
Yeah.
Just jump in the pool, that's the only thing we could do?
Yeah.
All right, baby. Well, you heard what she said. Only thing we could do is jump in the pool, see? Only thing we could do. Now, which pool are we going to jump in? There's like 5. But yeah, email brotherpolight45@gmail.com. That's brother spelled the right way. Brother, POLIGHT45@gmail.com. Send your full name, send your phone number, and let's get to work. Be it mentorship or be a consultant. Remember, mentorship costs a lot more, but that's when you make money during the course of the program. And then consulting, once you make the transaction, the $200 or $300 per hour, or multiply it by the amount of hours is up to you. Then I'll send you some questions. You send me some answers back, so I have an overview of what you're looking to do, so we don't cut into your time when it's time for me to do the consulting. So once you hit me up and say, Polight, I'm ready for the consultant, then I'm gonna say, okay, bet, make the payment. You make the payment, I'm gonna send you the Q&A. The Q&A is gonna save me time and you time, because I can be better prepared to execute on your behalf, and you can get the best experience because I won't have to ask you introductory questions during your time. I do that to be fair to you. So I look at it, I make an assessment, and then when it's time for us to do the consulting, you can get the best experience and the most for your money. I love y'all very much. I want to thank you so much for your time, your energy, your love, your intention, and your appreciation for what I do, and the appreciation of you all. I'm going to put so much energy into whatever I have to share with you, whether it's in the form of mentorship or consulting. I'm going to give you the best version of me. I'm going to talk to you as though I'm teaching a lecture. And I am coming out officially of retirement to do a debate, and I still have to do a stream about that. I'll probably do that tomorrow when I'm rested up and I've done all my consulting and hung out with the family. But right now, it is time to be with the beautiful and lovely family that I have until it's time for me to go into this consultation later. Peace and blessings. Love you all. Remember, it's brother POLIGHT45@gmail.com. I just gave you a 6-figure breakdown, and you may not even realize what I just gave you. You might be taking it for granted because I said it so fast or because I did it so quickly. But believe me when I tell you, I really shared a great deal of information with you in that short period of time on the strength. You could do whatever you want with it, do whatever you must, but please use it in some shape, form, or fashion. Whether it's a follow-up consultation with me, whether it's a follow-up to get mentorship with me, or whether you follow up and do more research and you go elsewhere, whatever path that it sends you on, but please do something with yourself, because I want to see you over here with me. And not necessarily over here, but somewhere. I want to make sure that you out here. And by out there, I mean having a good time, living life with you and your children, your wife, your husband. I just want to know somehow you've been empowered by what I teach. Love you all. Peace.